I finished Covet, and I enjoyed the book. I loved it, but I got a few rants and tangents and things I want to go off on. Be forewarned. And yes, my daily recaps do have a lot of tangents in them, but there's some stuff I didn't mention that I kind of want to mention now. As I say a lot, I did not read the blurb. I had no idea what I was getting into when I was going to the book. So in the first 2 chapters, I honestly thought that the relationship was going to be Jim and Marie. And that was mainly because there was a lot of Jesus comparison between Jim being a construction worker and him getting resurrected. So I'm like, oh, he's Jesus. And then Marie is, of course, Mary Magdalene. I'm like, oh, that's the relationship. Yeah, I was wrong. It was Vin. Which, I mean, Vin technically works in construction and has special abilities. So, I mean, that could be our Jesus comparison. Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Secondly, I want to mention I'm not really feeling the urgency on this one. Yes, I know to save his mother's soul, Jim has to save some other souls, but since we were introduced to other deities and other afterlives in the previous books, I kind of like, I don't know if this is the end all be all. I have questions. And we know that the angels cross over with the vampires because of Lassiter, so did they not know about each other? But Eddie and Adrian are kind of hiding things from Jim, so that could come up later. For a tangent on how involved this is with the Black Dagger Brotherhood. I don't see this as a separate series. Yes, I know it's claimed as a separate series, and every time you look at a reading order, they're showed as separate series, but you really kind of have to read them together. Because we have literal POVs from characters that were in previous books, and we not only do we have the Easter eggs, again, we were actually in Caldwell. Of course, now that Jim is headed to Boston, that might not be a problem anymore. I don't know, I guess I'm just irritated that it was actually difficult to find a reading order list that included both series. You could find the chronological order list, you could find the publication order list, but they were always listed as separate. They were not listed together. And I honestly didn't look that hard, so it could have just been me. But I do have one now that it has all of the books in publication order. And it also involves the Bourbon Kings too, but I don't know if I'm going to do those. And back to the books being involved with each other. This rant was loading for a while. But Hex was never mentioned. And when the book starts, it's 4 months after Zero Sum exploded. Calculate in the 1 month between when Zero Sum exploded and Hex went off to rescue Rev. She's been missing for 3 months. And I do know not only in publication order, but in chronological order, this does take place before Love or Mine. So why has no one mentioned she's gone? Because we have Trez, we have Marie-Therese, who both, again, worked with Hex. And Marie was close enough to Hex and had a decent working relationship with her to know not to mess with John. And also Hex gave her a plant. Which, that plant was never mentioned again either. So I guess I'm just really concerned. Yeah, I think that's all my rants for now. Which I am glad that Love or Mine is next, because I really don't think I could handle a whole nother book of Hex being missing and no one saying a word about it.